You're listening to an AppleViz podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome. Hey, my name is Thomas Domville, also known as Anonymous. In this podcast, I'm going to revisit and how to use the sound recognition on iOS. Now, I've done a sound recognition review before, but some things have changed, so I'm going to revisit the sound recognition. Let's talk about the sound recognition, what it is, and how it's useful. This is going to be focused for those with hearing impairment or that are deaf. This is a wonderful feature that allows the system, or I should say my iPhone for this case, to be able to detect different types of sounds, such as appliances or alarms or whatever have not. And that will help us to know that something is going on and it needs our attention. For example, if we have a setup for, let's just say, smoke alarm, that's a useful one. If you're not able to hear that very well, we can turn that option on and we are able to hear the alarm for that. Different appliances are difficult for me to hear, such as my microwave. It does this really high shrilling pitch. Now, if I'm on top of it, sure, I can hear it. But if I'm in the other room, I just don't hear it. But the device has a keen little ears, and it'll tell me, hey, I detected that the appliance and my microwave is done. So that can be something useful. Doorbells is another one. And you can see all the things we can turn on to have it recognize. And yes, it can be customized to certain sounds that if the predefined pre-template sounds in Apple iOS sound recognition doesn't have, we can customize that, and I'll show you how to do that. All right, let's dive into this podcast. We've got to get our device out, and we're going to head over to Settings.
Settings. Double tap to open.
One finger double tap, open up Settings.
Settings. Settings. Heading.
And we're to the Settings here, and we're going to swipe to the right until we get to Accessibility.
Accessibility. Button.
And once again, we're going to do one finger double tap to open this.
Vision. Heading.
And we're going to go down to the Hearing section.
Physical and motor. Heading. Hearing. Heading.
And we're going to swipe to the right until we get to Sound Recognition.
Hearing devices. Button. Sound recognition. Off. Button.
There it is. So we're going to do one finger double tap on that.
Sound recognition. Off. Accessibility. Back button.
Now I'll go right here so we can see what's going on the screen here.
Sound recognition. Heading. 10.7 megabytes required.
So it requires X number of space. So first we got to make sure we have enough space. And I'm going to give Apple's version of what sound recognition is.
Your iPhone will continuously listen for certain sounds, and using on-device intelligence will notify you when sounds may be recognized. Sound recognition should not be relied upon in circumstances where you may be harmed or injured, in high-risk or emergency situations, or for navigation.
That's pretty well set. All right, so let's go back to the top to turn this option on. I'm going to do a four-finger tap towards the top here.
Accessibility. Back button.
Go to the right.
Sound recognition. Heading. Sound recognition. Off. Double tap to toggle setting.
There she is. Now I'm going to double tap that to turn it on.
On. 26.8 megabytes used.
So the total tally is 26.8 meg is being used. And now if you go to the right here.
Your iPhone will continuously listen for certain sounds. 13. Button.
Now we get the button that says Sound 13. Double tap that with one finger.
Alarms. Heading.
All right, so we have different categories. We have different categories here. We have alarm.
Animals. Heading. Household. Heading. People. Heading.
And people. So there's the four segments we're going to be focusing on. So let's go back up to the alarm.
Household. Heading. Animals. Heading. Alarms. Heading.
All right, go to the right here.
Fire. On. Button.
Here's the fire alarm I was telling you about. Now, some of these I don't need, such as my fire alarm. I will be able to hear that. That's pretty loud. So I'm only going to focus on certain sounds because I get a lot of false positive of different sounds. So it may differ per your household. So if you have a noisy household or things going off all the time, you may get some false positives. So make sure you set the ones that are most important to you. So I'm going to turn this off, double tap this with one finger, and it's going to open up its own little page here. So you'll see what I'm talking about here.
Fire. Off. Double tap to toggle setting.
Now I can turn this off. Now you may not know this, you have the option to select the sounds for that when it gets activated. In other words, what kind of sound do you want the phone to emit?
Alert tones. Tritone. Button.
Exactly. So you can change the sound tone. Double tap that, change the tone if you would like to have something different. That's important because that also goes along with the haptic. And for those that are probably a little deafer than other, like for myself, I'm hard hearing, but I'm not totally deaf, but I rely on haptic quite a bit. So those tones could be connected with a haptic that you feel. So you get a good vibration, maybe did like 3 times or something. It'll tell you, that's the fire alarm. That's why it's important. I want to make a note of that. So let's go back left.
Fire. Off. Double tap to toggle setting.
Now I've already turned this off, but you just do 1 finger double tap to turn this on and off.
On. Off.
Like that. And then we'll go to left.
Fire. Heading. Sounds. Back button.
Sound is back is the top left. Double tap that.
Sounds. Fire. Off. Button.
Now it's turned off. Now go to the right here.
Siren. On. Button.
Same thing. Do you want siren? I definitely want this turned off.
Siren. On. Double tap to toggle set off.
That could be quite useful if you are able to drive and you're not able to hear the surrounding sounds such as siren. That might help you.
Sounds. Back button.
Back.
Sounds. Siren. Off. Button.
Swipe to the right.
Smoke. On. Button.
There's your smoke detector. Now, above was a fire alarm. I suppose that could be a different sound. Maybe the building or whatever has a different type of sound than your smoke alarm. I know the smoke alarms comes with several flavors of different sounds. So let's double tap this.
Smoke. On. Double tap to toggle setting.
Double tap.
Off.
Off. And once again, if you go to the right, you go to sounds, change the sound that has the haptic feeling that you want. Top left.
Sounds. Back button.
Back.
Sounds. Smoke. Off. Button.
Okay, let's go to the right.
Custom alarm. Button.
And this is a nice feature, is a custom alarm. So if you have your own type of alarm that you want to predefine, you can do that here. And we will be going to this in a moment after I introduce everything else.
Animals. Heading.
All right, so let's get to the animal section.
Cat. On. Button.
If you needed to hear your cat, leave this on.
Cat. On. Double tap to toggle setting. Off.
I don't want that on.
Cat. Heading.
And left.
Sounds. Back button.
Top left. Double tap.
Sounds. Cat. Off. Dog. On. Button.
And now I'm going to go through the process to turn that off. Now that you know what the step is.
Dog. On. Double tap to off. Sounds. Back button. Sounds. Dog. Off. Household. Heading.
Now we get to the household items. Now this is going to be the most important thing to me. A lot of these things I may do want on, so let's check.
Appliances. On. Button.
I'm going to keep that on. There's different various appliances in my house that I might need that for.
Car horn. On. Button.
I don't need the car horn. Once again, if that's something that you are still driving and that's essential to you to know that somebody's honking, you can just turn that baby on, but I'm going to turn this off.
Car horn. On. Double tap off. Car horn. Sounds. Back button. Sounds. Car horn. Off. Doorbell. On. Button.
That's a pretty important one, right? But I have an unusual doorbell here. It's not the normal chime, so this doesn't work for me. I'm going to turn that off because I'm going to do a customized one. So I'll turn this one off.
Doorbell. On. Double tap to toggle setting. Off. Sounds. Back button. Sounds. Doorbell. Off. Door knock. On. Button.
That's a cool one. I definitely want to have that on. There's times I did not hear somebody knocking on the door, so that'll help me there.
Glass breaking. Off. Button.
Glass breaking, that's an interesting one because obviously if you are deaf or hard of hearing, if that's important to you and you want to be able to hear some glass breaking for whatever reason, probably mostly for nighttime, if you put this under your pillow, you could be able to feel the vibration. This is off. I'm going to leave that as off.
Kettle. Off. Button.
Here's an interesting one as well, kettle. So if you are still using a kettle to brew your tea or boiling some water, you can have that turned on if you want. This is off for me, so I'm going to keep that off.
Water running. On. Button.
Well, this is kind of important. if you hear some water running, hey, maybe something's broken, pipe broken. However, this is kind of a false positive too. As good as that sounds, every time I flush a toilet, I know, right? It activates, and I suppose that's kind of important, so you at least know that it's running. I don't have that issue. I don't need that. If it's if the water's rushing, I'll definitely find out about it. I'll double tap this.
Water running. On. Double tap off.
Turn that off.
Sounds. Back button. Sounds. Water running. Off. Custom appliance or doorbell. Button.
That one we're definitely going to use as we get back to this. So we're going to go to the next segment.
People. Heading.
This is our last segment of people.
Baby crying. On. Button.
This is pretty cool. So if you are not able to hear baby crying when they need to be fed, or if they wake up from a nap or whatever not, this is a really nice one. I don't have any small ones anymore, so I'll just turn this option to off.
Baby crying. On. Double tap to off. Sounds. Back button. Sounds. Baby crying. Off. Button. Coughing. Off. Button.
Interesting. Coughing. And it's already set off. I'm going to keep that off.
Shouting. Off. Button.
Shouting. If you have some problems with kids or whatever, somebody's shouting, you want to know about that so you can confront that and resolve those problems, you can have that turned on. And that is it. Shouting is the last one. So let's go back up to the customize.
People. Heading. Custom appliance or doorbell. Button.
All right. So I have two things here I want to add. I have my microwave. It never hears my microwave right. I have a different type to tone, and definitely the doorbell. I have a different type of doorbell as well. So let's one finger double tap in here and see what we have.
Custom appliance or doorbell. Heading.
Okay, so here we are. We're ready to customize our particular sound. So I'm going to focus on my doorbell, and let's go to right here and have it read what this is for and what we're supposed to do.
Add a custom appliance sound for iPhone to recognize electronic sounds. iPhone can learn to detect appliances, alarms, doorbells, and other electronic sounds. Listening. Place iPhone near the sound to listen and minimize background noise. Notification. Receive a notification when a compatible sound is heard. Continue.
Let's do one finger double tap on continue.
Custom appliance or doorbell. Heading.
All right, let's take a look at what we have here.
Add a name for this appliance or doorbell.
All right, so we needed to give it a name. So I'll go one more to the right here until we get to the edit field.
Custom sound. Text field. Double tap to edit.
All right, so we got the text field. Double tap that.
Text field is editing.
So what I want to identify is my Ring doorbell. So I'll call it Ring doorbell. Ring doorbell.
Inserted Ring doorbell.
All right. Let's see what else we got in here. We'll swipe to the right.
Clear text. Button. Continue. Button.
And we'll go ahead and do a continue. One finger double tap.
Set up Ring doorbell. Heading.
Okay, so we're to the third step here. So let's see what we got to do now.
Teach iPhone to recognize this sound by making the sound 5 times.
Okay, so we have to do it 5 times. Now we're going to have 5 slots here that you're going to hear, and it's going to be all the same because it hasn't been recognized yet.
Sound incomplete. Sound incomplete. Sound incomplete.
There's third slot.
Sound incomplete. Sound incomplete.
That's the 5th slot.
When your appliance is ready, tap Start Listening and then activate the appliance. Start listening. Button.
Now we have to double tap that when we are ready. So let me get prepared here. All right, I got all my equipment here. And so now I am going to double tap to start listening. Double tap it. And then once that's been double tapped, go ahead and hit the doorbell here.
Start listening. Waiting for an appliance. Listening to appliance. Sound recognition. Now, door knock. A sound has been recognized that may be a door knock.
Well, that was not a door knock, but let's save and see what we have.
Save
the
sound.
Options.
Button.
So it has a save item.
Ignore and keep listening. Button.
Or to ignore and keep listening. So let's go back to left.
Save sound. Button.
We'll double tap to save that.
Start listening. Dim. First sound was 6. When your appliance is ready, tap Start Listening and then activate the appliance.
Now we heard that the first one was saved. So I'll go to the top here so you can see that.
Sound name. Back button. Cancel. Button. Set up Ring doorbell. Heading. Teach iPhone to recognize this sound by making the sound 5 times. Sound complete.
Okay, so it says sound complete.
Sound incomplete.
And so that means the first one's done. Second one we got to do.
Sound incomplete.
Third one.
Sound incomplete.
Fourth.
Sound Incomplete.
And fifth.
First sound was successfully saved.
Excellent.
When your appliance is ready, tap Start Listening and then activate the appliance. Start Listening. Button.
Okay, let's double tap and do this again.
Start Listening. Waiting for an appliance. Listening to appliance. Sound recognition. Now, door knock. A sound has been recognized that may be a door knock.
There's that door knock again.
Save sound. Button.
Let's double tap to save it.
Start listening. Dimmed. Second sound was when your appliance is ready, tap Start Listening and then activate the appliance.
All right, so we heard very quickly there that this was the second one has completed.
Start listening. Button.
All right, let's do the third one here. Start listening.
Start listening. Waiting for an appliance. Listening to appliance. Sound recognition. Now, door knock. A sound has been recognized that may be a door knock.
Okay, so now we heard it for
Button.
the third time. Let's go for the fourth one.
Save sound. Button.
I'll double tap to save that.
Start listening. Third sound was success. When your appliance is ready, tap Start Listening and then activate the appliance.
Excellent. So let's go to the fourth one.
Start listening. Button. Start listening. Waiting for an appliance. Listening to appliance. Sound recognition. Now, door knock. A sound has been recognized that may be a door knock. An appliance was detected. Save this sound if you activated the appliance. Save sound. Button.
Double tap.
Start listening. Dim. Fourth sound was when your appliance is ready, tap Start Listening and then activate the appliance.
Now, the interesting part on that one, it just thought it heard an appliance there. Interesting. Sometimes you get some weird results, but don't have any fear. You're doing the right thing. By now, I'm sure the neighbors are probably going crazy like, are they home or what? What's going on over there?
Start listening. Button.
The final one. Promise. Here's the fifth one.
Start listening. Waiting for an appliance. Listening to appliance. Sound recognition. Now, door knock. A sound has been recognized that may be a door knock. Save sound. Button.
All right. Double tap.
Start listening. Dimmed. Done. Button.
Yay, we have completed it. We have hit the done. Now I'm going to show you what the final result looks like. So we'll go to the top here, 4-finger tap at the top.
Sound name. Back button.
Go to the right.
Cancel. Button.
There's the cancel button at the top right if you decide to cancel out early.
Set up ring doorbell. Heading. Complete.
It's complete. Yay. Now all 5 slots should say it's been completed.
Sound. Complete. Sound. Complete. Sound. Complete.
Third slot.
Sound. Complete. Sound. Complete.
Last slot.
It may take a few more minutes to complete training. You will be notified when your sound is ready to go.
Excellent. One more to the right.
Done. Button.
There's that done button. 1-finger double tap.
Sound recognition. Back button.
Okay, so here we are. We're back to this screen.
Sounds. Heading. Edit. Button.
We had the various sounds.
Alarms. Heading.
So we have the alarm.
Animals. Heading.
Animals.
Household. Heading.
Let's go through the items here that we went through before, and we're going to go towards the bottom of this area.
Appliances. Car horn. Doorbell. Door knock. Glass breaking. Kettle. Water running. Ring doorbell. On. Button.
There
Actions
it
available.
is. So you have your Ring doorbell. That's what I named it. And at any time, yes, you can delete this by doing a swipe up.
Delete.
And delete that if you wish. Now, also, when you go to the right here,
Custom appliance or doorbell. Button.
you can add a second one if you want to do it. Now, you recall way at the top here was the alarm, and it has its own custom button. If you like to place that, whatever you have defined into the alarm, you can do that up there as well. So let's give this bad boy a test and see if we get the results as we wanted.
Sound recognition. Now, door knock. A sound has been sound recognition. Now, ring doorbell. A sound has been recognized that may be a ring doorbell sound.
So there you have it. Yes, I got 2 results. I got one for knocking. Wasn't really knocking, but at least it detected as knocking. And so I suppose we didn't have to do this customization since it picked up as door knocking, and I guess that would get the same results. But nonetheless, it's just to show that it did detect that the Ring doorbell went off. How cool is that? So I wanted to show you how the sound recognition worked, what new things we have in this little area, and I hope it becomes very useful for you. So that is how to use the sound recognition on iOS. My name is Thomas Domville, also known as Anonymous. Until next time, bye-bye.
This AppleVis podcast has been brought to you by the community of applevis.com. For the latest in resources and tips and tricks to get you the best experience from your Apple device, visit www.applevis.com.